Okay, one more. Polarities. Okay, I'll let you know. Polarity, solubility, uh, boiling point, melting point, IR. You're only gonna have like probably 5 questions max. Don't worry about those as much. You need to know them though. Okay, so if something's polar, right, we're going back to Chem 1 and 2. It has a net dipole moment, aka the electrons pull in a certain direction, right? So let's look at water. We have water here, and the electrons are pulling in this direction, so water is polar, right? Now, if something is nonpolar, that would mean well, there's a couple things, but what you'll find is that molecules that have the same groups, even if it's CCl4, even if these groups are electronegative, if it's the same, they all just cancel each other out. And so that's nonpolar, right? So scroll through this video and see what these are, and ask me well, maybe send them to me if you want to, or maybe start talking about them in the group chat, and I can, if you have questions about them, I can answer. Okay, polarity, cis versus trans, right? Okay, so in the similar light of 4 identical things being attached to a carbon, if you have an alkene, right, this double bonded structure, and the 2 groups in the ends are facing in different directions, they're going to cancel each other out. That's nonpolar. If you have an alkene and they're both facing the same direction, that's polar. Cis, it's same direction, so all the energy is moving in one direction versus being split, right? Right, solubility. Okay, solubility works like versus like, right? So if you're trying to dissolve something, a substance, let's say you want to dissolve some kind of like lipid type of structure. I don't know, this is a terrible structure. Some kind of fat, okay? That means you would need to figure out if this is nonpolar or polar. It is polar because of this polar head and nonpolar tail. Biochem, you're gonna see a lot of this. It's polar, so we want to dissolve it in a polar solvent. If something is nonpolar, like oil, I do not know why this is not oil. This is an ether. Like an oil, like a basic carbon chain or something like that. It's gonna be nonpolar. Boiling point, the strongest, the one that has the strongest intermolecular force has the highest boiling point, highest surface area, highest boiling point, as in like a big old structure like this is going to take up a lot of room, so it's going to have a high boiling point. The more branched, the lower the boiling point. So if something is like this, where it has a lot of pieces but it's tight, then the boiling point is low. IR, I'm gonna do a separate one on IR because IR, there's not a lot on the exam on it, but it's very new for a lot of people. So I'm gonna just wait and do one later.